This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Three checkered flags have waved. Three different drivers have been first to the flag stand. Yalva Verde won the season opener at Mid-Ohio. The defending champion Alex Johnson followed suit at Interlagos. And then last round at Snetterton, David Burns picked up the win. But Valverde and Johnson have each missed races, and with the short 7-race schedule and no drops allowed, if you snooze, you lose. So that leaves veteran David Third Degree Burns in the best position to win the title, which would be his first. But this is only the halfway point, and with this no-drop race format and a deep pool of talented drivers, one mistake and championship's hopes will fade quickly. From Detroit's Belle Isle, it is the Absolute Beginner League's Formula Eagle Season 16 Championship, and you can witness all the simulated Dallara Formula 3 action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esports Network. From Motown, hello and welcome. Soup and Sandwiches, yours truly, Bill Soupzon, joined by Samuel Ryman to bring you our Word's Eye View. Sean Crackers Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras provided by Dougie Beer. All right, when Smokey Robinson recorded his hit song, The Tracks of My Tears, right here in Motown in 1967, he must have been singing about Central Avenue and Strand Drive, because for many an iRacer, Belle Island is the track of their tears. Sam, tell us a little bit more about today's racetrack.
Yeah, Bill, the circuit here is one of a very few street courses that iRacing has, which, as you mentioned, makes it very tricky, especially when we're going open-wheel racing today, and walls are never kind to open-wheel motor racing cars when they slip up. Easy to do here on this 2.3-mile, 14-turn circuit. Not a whole lot of elevation change, but with it being a street course, there's enough challenges already on this flat track because of the lack of grip, and we'll get to the weather in just a little bit moment, because these cars, being as light as they are, can be very weather sensitive. Let's give you an idea of what one lap around this Belle Isle circuit is like in one of our Formula 2 cars.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Renault, so let's do a lap around Detroit. You probably won't see a whole lot of passing down into turn 1 because this is a relatively fast set of S's. The important thing here is to watch the car over the hump on the exit, which can easily cause you to lose control. And yet there's a lot of pressure to get on the power early. The heavy braking into 3 makes it ideal for passing, but be careful not to overshoot it, because even though you've got the escape road, if you try to make the corner, there's very little space to the outside to save the car. After that, you've got a short burst of 4 where you can actually take it at a fairly fast clip. But then, as it switches into 5, it's the opposite, narrow, off-camber, and with a tightening exit. Then there's no time before 6, where a little rise at the entry tends to cause some frustrating understeer. Much like the exit of 2, powering off this corner can make or break your lap. You're going to try to straight line the little bends on the backstretch, and then it's important to line up your braking for 7. This is about the only other safe place to attempt to pass, but it's still incredibly difficult to pull off. It also leads into the fountain section, which, if you're smart, will be pretty much single file all the way through. You'll need to display some patience with the throttle as it leads up towards 11, since it's one of the slowest corners on the track and really needs you to get a nice wide entry. Careful on the throttle because the bumps at the exit will cost you some traction, and then prepare yourself for 12 and 13. The precision needed here is immense because you can't clip the inside curves, but you also have no space to swing wide because of the concrete walls right at the edge of the circuit. From there, you're home free on your way to the line since it's flat out through 14, but hopefully you've now finished a lap around Detroit.
Joe Peak doing what nobody does better, talking and taking the viewer around the racetrack. Today it's the tight confines of Belle Isle. I'm going to try to take you around the point standings. Let's start with the F1 driver standings now. In this series, 14 points is a substantial margin. David Byrne's biggest challenge might not be the drivers behind, but the walls on each side. The Central sensation, Yal Valverde, sits in second despite missing a race. He's not here as of now, today, as well as the defending champion, Alex Johnson. Looking down there at the next driver, you got the current F2 leader, Michael Hoflades, and he holds down third. Last season's runner-up, Dennis Garrison, is next, and then another F2 driver, Ludwig Sauer, rounds out the top five. Let's go ahead and take a look at those F2 championships. And there you can see Hoflades and Sauer sitting 1-2. Now, they score the points differently in the F2 standings. That's why they're only separated by a point, while the interval was much larger in the F1 standings. You can see also the Strudelmeister, Thomas Kick. He had his best performance ever last time out when he came home in 8th position. Another veteran sits down there in 5th. The 10th from Richard Colomb was his career best. You know, the Strudelmeister has 47 career races under his belt. Colomb has 44. That kind of bookending the Brazilian driver Paulo Prado, who sits there in 4th on the F2 standings. 18th overall, though. Let's go and look at the team standings right now. And this is where two stupid dogs, boy, Burns and Vincent Bream, are going to be tough to beat. They have a 4-point lead. Liam Quinn, Mr. Excitement, and Yal Valverde sit down there in second for team talent, but again, attendance might be the issue there. iRacing is strong. Hofladason and Thomas Kick, a real good chance to get to the top. I don't think that NHR Esports really is going to get there, especially with Alex Johnson having a limited schedule because he's working on a new wheel or pedal set, I believe. And then Virtual Motorsports, Dennis Garrison is good, but you cannot do it by yourself in this series if you want to get a team championship. All right, we're always picking up new viewers, so with those guys in mind, let's have Sam talk a little bit about the event details.
And we'll bring them up on screen for you as well here to help our viewers out. This is round 4 of 7 of season 16. No drop weeks, of course, with it only being a 7-round series. The concept of drop weeks would be quite ridiculous. But that being said, you definitely can't afford to miss a race. As you mentioned, participation and consistency are key to winning a championship when it's only 7 races long. The race will be an hour long, 60 minutes long. These Formula 3 cars have a limited amount of fuel that they can have in their machines, which will force them into a 2-stop strategy. Normally, the pit window is a bit tight, and we'll see cars pitting every 20 minutes. Incident cap is 24. That means if you hit 24 incident points, you will be disqualified from the event. At some tracks with runoff areas and grassy patches, that can become an issue when drivers abuse the track limits. Here, I don't expect it to become much of an issue, because if you run off the track here, you're in the wall and you're out of a race anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. This place in Bathurst is probably 2 places that really don't need incident caps. There we get an idea of how bumpy this place really is. Sebring is happy when this place came on there, took Sebring off the bumpiest racetrack list. Tom Van Hoyman behind the wheel. There for Tom.
Holding pole position down by 0.6 of a second, just within that 121.5 that put him to the top of the standings. Our fastest time in practice was also 121.5. That was held by Dennis Garrison, who hasn't really turned a competitive lap time during qualifying yet, but he's on track. Let's see what the driver of the 82 can do.
Absolute Beginner League has a reputation for, I'm going to put this mildly, huge fields. I mean, they were really big. We would do some that had 55 to 60 cars. Today, we were relatively small, only 20, so it should be probably a good fit for this tight field. David Third Degree Burns puts himself in second with a 122 flat. Here's the man sitting in 5th in the points, sitting 2nd in the F2 championship. This is Ludwig Sauer.
Currently sitting 6th on the board. Only a little over 2nd off of the top time. You see, qualifying, it's 10 minutes long. The drivers get as many laps as they'd like during that 10-minute time. The problem is there's 20 other cars they all have to navigate, and there's really no point to try and slipstream or draft anyone around this track. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of easy places to get by if you catch a car on a hot lap that's slower than you. So could end up with a little bit of a mixed up grid, although with Human and Burns at the front of the field right now, seeing the big hitters still work their way up to the top end of the field.
Looking through the list at the big drivers maybe that should be doing better. The 82 car of Dennis Garrison sitting in 10th right now. You would expect him to do a little bit better. He's out there trying to put in a lap. Yeah, we're looking at him.
Yeah, he had a big slide early this lap, Bill, and he's having another one there. So, yeah, this isn't going to be a good time, unfortunately.
Let's look at the Strudelmeister, Thomas Kick, in his familiar number 44. Yeah, this one's not feeling so good for him. He's certainly currently sitting in 8th position. Okay, the fan belt is here today. Johan Vanderbilt sitting in 10th right now. Just came across the line. He's just starting his lap. Boy, we talked to Johan before we went live. He was saying he's having a hard time just getting in a lap. And was saying how tough it is that the tires, even though there might be tire warmers on, I believe there are tire warmers for this. His attitude was, well, if there are, they don't work very well because the first couple laps, he says, is really tough. Boy, you can, and as I say that, Johan Vanderbilt puts it in the wall. He's done as we look at Josh Brain.
Yeah, still plenty enough time if you do get in an incident to take a tow to the pits. It doesn't cost you any time to tow to the pits in qualifying. You'll be able to get right back out there and try and get a hot lap in. Let's take a look at the weather, Bill, before we get started here, because you were just talking about how tricky it is to race these cars around here. And the 90-degree Fahrenheit track temp, that doesn't sound too bad, but the two things that really stand out to me are, one, we've got a pretty strong wind, and as we mentioned during the track description, these are city streets, so these drivers really have to lay some rubber down before the track rubbers up.
A beautiful blue Midwestern sky pushing down on the racetrack there. Almost cloudless. Riding on board with David, 3rd-degree Burns, coming off the win that he posted last time out at Snetterton. It had been a long time since he got one. He felt really good about it. Sitting at the top of our point standings.
Sitting at the top of qualifying, Heumann just picked off another half second. Now we've picked up Marcus Gresdal on screen. A familiar name to us here on GSRC and the iRacing Esports Network, but I'm not sure we've seen him in a Formula 3 car before, Bill.
I don't think so. It's good to see him racing here. Marcus sitting a little farther down the order than he would like, 19th. Slowest of all the cars that put in a qualifying time.
Now, there is a time that you have to hit. You have to be within a certain percentage of a pole sitter. Currently, Lance Simon and Marcus Gresdal, their lap times are quite significantly slow. However, they both ran competitive lap times in practice, so I think that will get them into the show. They just haven't been able to put a clean lap together in qualifying yet.
We'll have to check out. Yeah, I think the practice time will probably get you in, doesn't it? Otherwise, boy, that puts a lot of pressure on you to actually put in a time in qualifying.
Speaking of cars who haven't put a time on qualifying, well, there we go. Frederick Neptune was the only driver who hadn't, and now he jumps up to 16th place.
Take a look at Neptune there. There's the Trident. Good to see him racing, a long-time veteran.
Yeah, just had to navigate his way through an asteroid belt there. Lots of hazards.
There's Josh Pinky in the Brain sitting there in 12th position. And that's where he's going to remain. All 20 drivers have put in qualifying times now. Let's look at the Polish driver, Wojciech Podacek. Another slow lap as he works his way down Sunset Drive. But I don't think he's going to have anything there. He puts himself in the sweet 16th position. Driver sitting 5th overall, Ludwig Sauer.
Yeah, we've got about 4 cars still out there, 4 or 5 cars still out there on track. As the checkered flag drops now, they'll be able to finish any lap times they're still on. David Boitelar is another driver who's out there, and he's currently 5th, so we'll see if he can jump up onto one of the top 2 rows.
I think he just got that time in. I think somebody just scooted up there. I think he might be in there. So I believe we're just about set on our 20-car field here. We'll wait a little bit longer. We'll have plenty of time to get in the grid here with a small field that we have. Sam's always worried about getting his GSRC commentator's bonus for getting through the entire grid when we have a standing start. You'll get it, Sam. Don't worry.
Yeah, Vincent Bream was still on track. He's currently qualified 4th, but he put it in the wall, so that's not going to help him. What does Grisdall do? Let's see, he's currently sitting in 8th position as he comes across the line.
Up one.
Yeah.
Up a spot into 7th.
Oh, that was a
crash in the background there. I believe that was that might have been Dennis Garrison. I'm not sure who that was.
Well, they've done a lot of racing at this track here, Bill. I think they've done stadium super trucks at this circuit, but these cars don't quite have that suspension. Hey, Sauer just jumped up to 6th.
Run from him, got that in just in time. Last car we really haven't paid much attention to, Alejandro Liero sitting in 9th right now. Oh, I think he's off the pace. Yep. He's going to call it a day. And I believe everybody is quite happy with their times. 20 drivers all got in their times. Looks like the qualifying times are all within the speed limit that they need. So with that said, let's go to the starting grid. Let's take it a row at a time. Tom Van Hoym is going to be on the pole, flanked by David Burns. Sam?
Just Jonk always gets involved in the action. He'll be starting from 3rd ahead of Vincent Bream.
Watch out for that 13 car. David Boitelar is going to be inside of row 3. Flanking him is Ludwig Sauer.
Then on row number 4, we find Michael Haflidason and Marcus Grisdall.
Number 9 is Alejandro Liero. In 10th position, Dennis Garrison.
Thomas Kick starts off our second page ahead of league admin Johan van den Belle.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's Josh Brain, and 14th, John Morgan.
Then Fabian Jungbluth will be rolling off from 15th ahead of sweet 16 position for Frederick Knapp.
Wojciech Podacek in the 17th spot inside of Daniel Solo.
He didn't get a fast time in practice, but Oliver Silva Barrera picks the pace up for qualifying to get 19th on the grid ahead of the last car on the grid, Lance Simon, less than 7 seconds off of our pole sitter, which isn't too shabby considering the amount of challenges that this circuit throws at you.
All right. Both Soup and Sandwiches will get our GSRC commentators bonus for getting through the entire starting grid here on this standing start before they go green. I think it's going to be an Arby's day for me. Sam's probably just going to have some clothes Simonized. Let's go and look and see. Van Hoyman is out there. Boitelar looking good. Everyone taking their spot. You'd heard Sam talk about it when we were running down the grid. Keep an eye on the number 13, Juice Junk. He is exciting.
I don't know how these drivers will get through the first 2 turns, Bill. I think turn 3 is going to be the action zone.
Gather up the chicken steak, cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Let's get round 4 underway.
Oh, big wreck at the back. One car lit the tyres up right off the line, and that's already taken 5 cars out before they even get to the first turn.
One of the big names involved in that one was Ludwig Sauer. We'll mark that one. We'll come back and look at it when the action allows. Up front, it is Van Hoyman. There is a battle for second. Burns and Junk There is more crashing going on behind it. We thought this would be an attrition fest. It's living up to it on the very first lap.
Yeah, I'm already seeing 3 cars parked in their pit stalls, and there are no free repairs in this series. Already losing several cars in this race, but things still exciting up front. Tom Van Humen leads from pole, but right in his slipstream is our championship leader, David Byrne.
Junk behind him, Vincent Brame, another Two Stupid Dogs driver. So you look what they're doing. They got Burns in 3rd. They got Brame in 5th. A good points day for that leading team. Hofladezen in 6th. Butalar, Liero, I'll round out your top 10. Brain all by himself in 9th. Morgan back in 10th.
Okay, Bill, I think I found what happens. I'm sure we'll get a replay of it. Ludwig Sauer from 6th place jumped the start, but he only just jumped the start, and he was getting on the brakes, trying not to get a penalty right when the lights went green. So when everyone else hit the gas pedal, he had just hit the brakes, and a lot of the wrecking occurred as they were all trying to avoid him. We'll get a replay for you very shortly, but still things tight at the front of our field.
Something I learned from you, Sam. If you're going to jump the start, you might as well jump it. No reason to hit the brakes. Just go. Van Hoyman out in front. Burns right behind him. They're trying to gap Juice Junk a little bit. He hangs on in 3rd position. 4 drivers who are out. Sauer, Gestal, Garrison, and Vandevelde. Oh my goodness, some big names down there. Vandevelde and Garrison.
Yeah.
Neptune is out as well, as it looks like Potocek has had a problem also. We're down to 6 drivers in pit lane. We have all of these. We're just going to keep racing on these here for a while. Let's hang on for just a minute, and we'll see. Follow Van Hoyman around until he gets to the start-finish line here. And actually, we're going to follow Van Hoyman down into corner number 3, and then we'll go to our replay. Here's our leader coming up in credit with leading lap number 2. Now, really, Sam, the first real passing zone is not corner 1 or 2. It's this long, I guess, really this straight here down into 3, but nobody close enough to make a move now.
Now, and you can see why Tom Van Humen has picked off fastest lap of a race again. Oh, and Brain, more drivers having trouble.
This is a self-spin for Brain, and he just said they're a great job of getting around him from John Morgan. Morgan was first on the scene. Saw Brain parked right there in the middle. Poor Joe, he's sitting right in a vulnerable spot. There goes Morgan. Coming back live, and we'll go up front. The leaders remain the same.
5th place is quite close in the background. Michael Hafler-Dason just ahead of David Boitelar. Alejandro Lero not too far behind them both in 7th. He's up at Hafler-Dason and Lero both up a couple of positions from where they started already.
Yeah, the big mover races in 8th position. John Morgan who's up.
Oh, Juice is in the wall. Look at this. They're going by Juice Strong. He's got the wall. I don't know if he's got any damage because he doesn't come into the pit.
Oh, some big damage. Good job of Vincent Brame getting around him. He was racing in 3rd. Give me this right-hander coming up. There you hear it. And there's the damage.
Well, he still continues, which is something that not a lot of drivers have been able to say today. He's back in 6th place ahead of Lero.
The Strudelmeister put it in the wall. He was the last car on the lead lap. Another one. We're going to have to get our director a new replay button as he's using them up. This has big... There it is right there. Big points implication. We'll take another look at that one. I've counted like 8 drivers now whose day is done.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing points right now because as chaotic as it's been in the middle and the back half of the field, and I mean our start pile-up was triggered off by the car in 6th not getting away, everyone in front of that has had a relatively calm race. Everyone who started in the top 5 is still running in the top 6.
Okay, if the drivers will behave, we have that first lap incident bookmarked. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one right now. That started with Ludwig Sauer, who jumps the start. And if everyone will behave, this is a big one. We'll take a peek at this one as we go back and look at the very beginning of the race. And of course, this would have been right on the starting grid, so we have to go right to the very beginning. There we go. Up. Try it one more time. Here we go. All right, boys, you can see them all in the line there. Everyone, 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, and there it is. You can see him. He does get buffed. Boy, and here they come. Sammy just had just a tiny little bit. I can understand why he thought maybe he might be able to fool iRacing on that.
You can't trick computers. Unfortunately, one of the drivers taken out from that was our league admin, Johan Vandenbeld. He is out of a race and he's actually getting set up for an interview.
Well, let's bring him in right now. Let's go ahead and talk to Johan while the action is a little bit calm here. Well, Johan, best laid plans. It was a short one for you.
Yeah, this was a very short one. Well, it was pretty obvious what happened. Ludwig unfortunately stalled, and we had a false start. Then he went on the brakes, and he said that he stalled his car after that. And it basically took out the whole right side of the grid. Like Dennis ran into him. I tried to avoid as well, but I got to the middle of the track. But one of the cars, unfortunately, in front of me spun to the middle and clipped my rear, and that destroyed my rear suspension. So my race was over. But yeah, we were thinking that it would be an attrition fest today, a lot of attrition, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon.
Stay with us here a little bit while we look at Juice Junk, who is in this great battle here with Junk, who's, I'm not sure if Junk's car isn't a little bit of junk after he put it in the wall. What's that? Do you think that we're going to look at the Barrera incident right now? This is Oliver Silva Barrera.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we're watching, me and you, Bill, we're watching this close battle for 6, but Oliver, ran into a bit of trouble there. I think everyone got away with it okay. The problem is 13th place is the last car on the lead lap. Everyone behind him has had some kind of damage today. I think a couple of them have tried getting back out on course, but let's go back to you with Johan, Bill.
Johan, do you think that stall from Sauer, is that a result of the new iRacing build where you can stall your car, or is that something that would have always have happened?
Could be. I would ask Ludwig for that. It seemed kind of strange. I had a false start, of course, at the beginning of the season. I didn't have that problem then, so it could be the new build. But yeah, other people mentioned that it might be anti-stall, so maybe it would have been something in this gearbox as well that just didn't work out. Maybe he put it accidentally in neutral and got stalled like that. I don't exactly know what happened, but it could be the new build too.
When you had your false start, you just went for it. That's once you have it, you might as well go, right?
Exactly. At least you have the chance to lead one lap that way. So.
That's right. Well, I would say it's a long season, but it really isn't. We're at the halfway mark, so good luck to you the rest of the way. It really hasn't gone your way so far.
No, but we have a race of champions at the end of the season, and I'm defending my title there, so all hopes on that.
All right, thank you. Johan Vandenbeld. Look at this battle we have been watching. This is really good. The best battle on the track. We've been on it for a while. Liero finally got the pass made, right, Sam?
No,
he did not.
Drunk is doing a whale of a job of holding off in a car that's pretty beat up.
I just assumed that was Liero who had made it, but yes. All this going on behind a leader, 2.3 seconds. Tom Van Hooyman.
Oh, and the car in front of him has had a spin. They're about to go by David Boitela, who had been running in 5th. He's going to drop to 7th.
Boy, another one. This is a self-spin. Not sure if he got any wall on this. Boy, and he gets it. The car is perpendicular. You know, one of the rules is you're supposed to stay on the brakes so they can go around you, but basically, his car was blocking the track. It was a good thing he was able to do that wide turn and get it going.
Yeah, it's when half of those incidents take place is when you spin and you know you're meant to hold the brakes, but you kind of don't know where you are sometimes. You're like, am I on the racing line? Am I not? You try and get off a racing line, and sometimes it's not the right decision. So I wanted to give a rundown here, Bill, because there was so much drama early on. There are 13 cars still in the race, still on the lead lap. One car, Ludwig Sauer, is a lap down. In 14th place, everyone else is out of the race. Thomas Kick, Johan van den Belde, Marcus Gresdal, Dennis Gerritsen, Frederick Neptune, and Wojciech Podolski.
While Van Hooyman runs away with it, and Burns is comfortable in second, as is Vincent Bream in third. Let's check in on Vincent Bream real quick. We haven't seen. This is a real good battle we've been watching.
Oh, Haflidasen's in the wall. Haflidasen is struggling to get his car back under control, and he's coming into the pit, so I don't know if he'll be coming back out.
And that's who he was racing right behind Vincent Bream. This was that battle for third. Bream in front, Haflidasen coming right at you. There it is, comes around. Oh, that felt like a lot of damage. Johan.
Normally it's easy to say, Bill, that races like this really shake a championship up, but unfortunately it might not be the case today, because Burns is surviving all of this, and that's just really going to help him with only 3 rounds to go after today.
Am I looking at the clock right? Do we still have 48 minutes of racing to go? We're only 12 minutes into this? Oh. Mama Jean, my 96-year-old mother-in-law. If you're watching, see if you can join this race. She's getting up there. I'm not really sure how old she might be 97 by now. You could get in there now, Mama Jean, and maybe get yourself a top 10 before this is done.
Yeah, well, that's the good news for our championship contenders who are still left. If they do run into trouble, they're only going to drop to about 12th or 13th.
Absolutely. All right, we're back on this battle, and this is really the most exciting one. And you know what? He really hit that car hard. We were talking, boy, here's a good run, though, from Liero. Just nowhere to go with it.
Juice Junk's got the train behind him as they come out to one of the best passing opportunities on the track. Of course, no DRS, no curves or anything in these smaller Formula cars. And so Junk is able to hold on ahead of Liero and Boitila. Boitila, of course, trying to recover. Although, to his credit, Junk out-qualified Boitila, but of course Junk is trying to drive with all that damage on his car. He's doing a pretty good job at it. I mean,
trying to at least wait for the pit window and see what they can do when he gets there. I think it's going to be a price to pay when he does come in for that window. Morgan is making an early pit stop.
And here we go, maybe a change for 5th place as Boitila sticks his nose out and Liero goes in a little deep.
I can report we don't need to go there, but Daniel Solo on this lap had to spun the car around and actually drove it backwards for a couple hundred feet. Going forwards on the track, but backwards was the gear he was using as we continue to look at this battle. 11 cars on the lead lap.
So that's over a quarter of a field we're looking at right here. And as I say that, Boitila just blinked out.
Yep.
Now, he might reappear, but it's... Oh, and into the wall goes Liero! Hard! Front end into the wall.
I wish I could have got the words out of my mouth. You were talking about how many cars had left, and I go, I think we're going to see a few more out of this battle here. And sure enough, the Detroit Walls got him. Oh!
And unfortunately for Boitila fans, I haven't seen him return. This is not good. That sometimes when you disappear like that, if you come back within 5 seconds, you're okay. I'm just waiting for the confirmation now that he's lost the connection, because I'm pretty sure that's what's happened.
Yep, he's fallen down the order, so all of a sudden, Juice Junk, who had the battle with Liero and Boitila, well, they're both gone now.
Well, let's be honest to our viewers here, Bill. I actually have a commitment post-race that would keep me out of doing the post-race show with you. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that this rate. we'll be done with the post-race show before the second round of stops. And Boitala has officially lost the connection. Now, of course, he could come back, and he might want to try and come back because he's still going to be able to pull a top 10 out of this.
Absolutely. I got the word Mama Jean is getting her helmet on, so she's going to come in. So if you're out, you can get that car repaired. There are spots to vulture. 10 drivers on the lead lap. Silva Barrera still out there racing. 11 cars racing. We have 1 car a lap down. Nope, only 10 cars racing as Liero is in the pits. 9 cars on the lead lap. I remember this guy.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, well, all these lap cars I thought I was going to come up to.
3.3 second lead on David Burns. Going to be a good day for 2 stupid dogs as Burns and Bream race second and third. Those teammates, nose to tail.
And now with the 2 cars behind Jonk gone, he's got 30 seconds of absolutely no pressure behind him. So he can just keep wheeling that number 13 machine around and hold on to 4th place right now.
Right on board with him. Yeah, he's in good shape. We talked to Johan Vanderbilt before the race, and he was saying that surprisingly how the suspensions are pretty sturdy on these Dallara Formula 3s. If you put them in the wall, they're pretty tough. I got a good battle for 8th position. I think it's not going to last long. Here comes Daniel Solo. I think Lance Simon just put the car in the wall earlier this lap, and now he is off pace.
But he's still on track. The good news, Bill, for these guys is we are finally approaching the first pit window of the race.
Look at us, Simon. The car looks pretty good. I think he pancaked the wall, so it's just not feeling right. As Solo drives away. "42 minutes into this." No, I'm sorry, not 42 minutes to go. 18 minutes in. I feel like dog years with all the attrition that's gone on. It seems like every lap is like 4.
Okay, here comes Lance Simon into the pits. He just came in right now, and this, I think, is to be expected, Bill. Kicking off our first round of stops, why not do it after you just, as you mentioned, he got into the wall a little bit ago, and he's already rolling, so car couldn't have been too badly banned up.
Once everyone makes their first pit stop, we'll give you a rundown of the order and give you the intervals that everybody is racing. No real battles on the track now as I scan through. We're thinking that maybe Daniel Solo might have had a little bit of a problem. We'll take a look at him anyway. This is on well. Nope, wrong car. There we go. Now we're looking at him. See if we see anything. Our timing and scoring says something may have happened, but he looks pretty good there. Currently in 8th. Up 10 spots.
One driver. Several drivers haven't been as fortunate today, Bill. One of them is David Boitala. I think we might have him for an interview.
I think this is great. Let's go ahead and bring David down in and talk to us. Sam, why don't you take this one? I talked to Johan.
Hello, David. You got a copy? No.
We scared him away. Now he's back.
Let's try this again.
One more time.
And
David, there we go.
Good evening. Yeah, everything went black.
Oh.
Are you going to try and get back out there? I mean, half a field that's wrecked out. You could probably still get a good finish out of it.
I'm trying to log in iRacing. Everything went blank. I don't know why. So I think I put it in a bowl, right?
There you go. You did. You just didn't know it, huh? Yeah, but If there's any consolation, everyone's been putting into the wall, so you have a lot of company.
Wait, he's probably asking from our broadcast perspective here, Bill. No, we just saw you disappear. When you went black, it said you lost the connection, so we think you still might have a car.
Oh, I'll try 3 laps behind, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, that's still 12th place right now.
Oh, that's a podium. That's a podium, baby. Get out there, put in some laps. You find yourself 3rd place.
Yeah. I'll try to do that.
All right.
Thanks.
Good luck, David. You're right, Sam. That's right. It was the internet connection that got him.
Hey, look at that. Tom Van Hooyman just set the fastest lap.
All right, we got a little bit of a look here at Young Bluth in 5th. About 5 seconds back to Josh Brain. John Morgan doing a good job out there letting cars go around him. He's in 7th spot right now. He just led. Oh, that's Ludwig Sauer got around him. Sauer is a little faster. 7 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, we got quite a few racing together a lap down now.
Right.
They'll start to get involved in their own battle. And honestly, we're probably going to end with very few cars on the lead lap. Not that we don't have that many cars on the lead lap now anyway. But Tom Van Hooyman is going so fast, he's going to have to deal with some lap traffic on real pace, even though we're only about 20 minutes in.
Hey, look who we got there. David Boutellard managed to get that car fired back up. He's back out, 5 laps down.
Yeah, so it took a couple of moments for me to work out what he was asking. He says the screen just disappeared, so he probably didn't know if his car continued on without him controlling it, and that's why he was asking us if he had damage. And so that's why we had to respond. No, your car just disappeared. You know, it didn't hit the wall or anything, and so that's why he's got back out there.
Just to be clear to new viewers of iRacing, when Sam said his screen disappeared, it means it went blank. His actually monitor is still sitting on his desk. I mean, it's not like... Solo is, his car now has no solo driver in it. He's done.
That's very strange, because I don't think he ran into trouble, had he?
Nope. All right, we have... What do we got here? 9 cars still to need to make a pit stop.
Well, Hooyman's going to keep going until he has to come in. It must be said that even though we keep saying, you know, Tom's got the pace, he's having a clean race, he's one driver who hasn't ran into any of the chaos that over half his field has. He's not out of the woods. I mean, a simple mistake, a spin, overshooting the corner. David Burns, well, I say Burns is only right behind him, he's in the pits now, but Burns and Bream are still within our striking range.
Pits from 2nd. Just Junk is not going to pit. Oh, he's coming in as well. From 4th, from 3rd position.
Oh, Josh Brain is in the pits with a lot of damage. He'd been one of our cars still out there on the lead lap. He's missing the front clip on his car.
We're going to look for that one. This is an example of what you were talking about. You thought that Van Hooyman was safe.
Nobody's safe.
Nope.
Into the wall now goes Jungbluth. Fabian Jungbluth just pancaked the wall. Now, he's driving away from the scene, but I've got to imagine that's upset the toe of his car. He slapped it pretty good. Straight into the pits, so I don't know if he'll come back out.
Yeah, you can see him there. Actually, that might be after the fact here. The car doesn't look real healthy there. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming up. There it is. There it is. Our director had it.
Yeah, to your point, Bill, he might have been upset. His car might have had damage from earlier on in the lap that triggered that. But what I can tell you is he's lucky, because he's already driving out of his pit stall, so he might have gone away with this one.
Okay, I'm going to try to actually get a little racing in here. Bream is in the pit lane. Now, let's pick up Burns. Burns is coming down across the start-finish line right now. And Bream is just coming out. So his teammate gets him. As was to be expected.
Yeah, but again, the gap only 4 seconds between them both, with over half a race gone. That's still doable for Brain back there.
2 cars still need to come in. And we say that when Josh Brain has not come out. All right. Oliver Barrera comes in, meaning the last car to pit is our leader. Tom, don't keep it out there too long, baby. Oh, and while that's going on, Juice Junk, I think, has just had an issue, a big one. Let's see if we can get this one. Car number 13.
That's unfortunate. He was a 4th, the last car still left on the lead lap. He was trying to keep on going with all that damage he had sustained early, and he'd been doing a great job of it.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Another spot for David Boutellard for Vulture.
It's a very weird place to lose it.
Okay, I believe everyone has made their pit stop. Sam, I'm going to run down all the cars on the lead lap, then you can do whatever you want after that. Tom Van Hoyman is your leader by 3.1 seconds over David third-degree Burns. Burns has 6 seconds now on Vincent Brame.
Oh, and the leader!
No.
No, has he got away with it? Is he going to lose the lead? He has lost the lead, but he kept it off a wall.
Oh my goodness. All things considered, this is a win here, not putting it in the wall.
That's an even bigger win for Burns in the championship, being able to take a lead out or take a lead while everyone else is wrecking.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Van Hoyman was pretty good. He's only back by
But he spun again. Oh, Burns! Oh. That's Burns! He just nosed in the wall and gives the lead back to Hoyman. And Burns might be able to get away with this, but he's down to third. He still can't get it pointing the right way again. Trying to Austin Powers it around these narrow streets, driving the wrong way. Well, why not? Wow, what is going on?
Okay, we're going to take a look at this one. And we'll stay on this one because actually it's much exciting. This is a great camera angle right here. As you watch him try to figure out how to get the car going in the right direction again. Trying to negotiate behind the foliage. There he goes. Still working on it.
Well, I said no one would have to worry about that 24 incident point limit today, Bill. I might be proven wrong by the end of this.
All right, so what does that mean? That means Van Hoyman is back out in front, now over Brame by 3 seconds. Burns falls to third. And the last car on the lead lap, God bless him, John Morgan. 14th to 4th. On the lead lap. That a baby.
You see, though, he's about a minute back off of the podium.
Oh, he's in a position to win this thing.
Now, if I recall, he was the one driver who didn't have an incident point at Snattendon last race.
And we documented it, and we thought it was an amazing run then, and look what it's doing right now. Love this guy.
Well, normally I'd say green is a bad luck colour to have on a race car, but today's St. Paddy's Day, so it seems quite appropriate. Maybe the one car the circuit isn't going to pinch.
There we go. One car this circuit's not going to pinch. That a baby. All right, so there's your 4 cars on the lead lap. Still racing Vincent Youngbluth in 5th, a lap down. All right, now here's our mid-race interview. David Butler. He's racing in 11th. Next for him is Josh Brain, whose car is in pit lane. And then there's also... Yep,
yeah, he'll pick off Johnson because Jonk was not able to get back out on the track. He has retired.
Let's look at Ludwig Sauer. He just spun the car. He's in 9th position. He had brought the car back out. Oh my goodness, he did not spin it. He actually put it in the wall. I think this is going to be another position that Butler is going to be able to pick up. So Sauer continues to race. This is just your typical little mistake. He was out, he was doing well, he had made the mistake, brought it back out again, was going to pick up some spots, and there he is parked. If you got Sean Ambrose on your Christmas list and you want to know what to buy him here, start shopping now for a new replay button. Alright, so Sauer is still racing. That car can't be in good shape. Butler does make it up into 11th.
I'm counting 9 cars still on the track, Bill, so he should be able to pick off 2 more here.
I have 2 heroes of this race, John Morgan and David Butler. Now up into 10th. Next for him, he's got about 3 more laps before he can get to Juice Junk. And then he'll have to try. I don't think he's going to be able to. Ludwig Sauer is limping the car around, but he's 3 laps up. There's Butler. Maybe we can watch some guys make a pass on some lap traffic here. Let's pick up Vincent Brame. Oh, there's Young Bluth.
Almost got collected by Ludwig Sauer there as he was trying to turn the car back around. I saw Young Bluth actually, his car dancing around early in the lap. I wonder if he might have picked up damage at some point, and that's what's caused him to have a couple of spins this go around. That being said, he's still in 5th place, lap down. There we go. There was his first mistake, or one of his mistakes.
Sauer, the leader of all the cars, 1 lap down. And then while all that goes on, he remains in 5th with 11 seconds on Lance Simon.
What race these guys got coming up next, Bill? I think a lot of them are already looking forward to it.
Yeah, they may. Oh, that'll be a very different animal. We're going to Charlotte. We're doing a Roval.
I'm already scared, Bill, because I've seen a couple of races at that Charlotte Roval already.
Oh, I thought that'd be a piece of cake. They have walls, but I thought they'd be more friendly. All right, well, that's good to know.
That's that chicane on the back straight there.
Ah, the chicane.
Throws everyone off, yeah.
We have reached the halfway point and passed it by about 4 minutes. Tom Van Hoyman back out in front. He was in second for a while until Burns made a mistake. That put Bream into second.
Things obviously really spread out now that they've calmed down. That being said, though, things will start shaking up in about 5 minutes again when we hit our second pit window of a race.
I'm glad we're looking at this. Is that the 177 car? Is that yes, that is John Morgan. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Van Hoyman. There's the 177 car just ahead of him. This is the guy who's going to show you how to get around this track. I am clean, I am perfect. Coming up behind him is the 77 of Tom Van Hoyman. So this will be fun. This is about to go a lap down.
Good news for Morgan as he has quite a bit of a gap over Fabian Jungbluth in 5th place still. So now Morgan is the first car 1 lap down. And I'll tell you what, Bream and Burns for 2nd and 3rd are quite close. I think Bream must have made a mistake at some point because Burns has closed up on him quite a bit.
Gap only 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, sure enough, 2 laps ago, Bream ran a lap time that was 8 seconds off the pace. Something happened there. Seems he got away with it though, because I don't see any damage on his number 25 machine.
We'll take another little peek, see if we can see how the car looks. Looks pretty good. 3 cars on the lead lap, Van Hoyman, Bream, and Burns.
And Breutelaar has worked his way up to 9th place now. So that puts everyone 10th on back, isn't going anywhere. Everyone 10th on back is out of the race.
Ludwig Sauer racing in 8th position is 2 laps down. Breutelaar is 5 laps down, so he's going to
what's going on there, Bill? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I saw a stalled car.
Oh, wait a minute. The Vincent Bream, did he have another spin? Because now he is... No, I'm sorry, that must have been the one you saw there. Boy, so many incidents to keep track of. The gap's still 4.4 seconds. Vincent Bream's made his way around Oliver Barrera. Boy, if you're new to iRacing and you're wondering if you want to join, maybe this isn't the race to make your judgment on. Stick around and watch coming up in just a few minutes, as soon as we close up shop here, Joe Peak is going to be calling the Weekend Warrior some spec racer Fords. That'll be a good show.
Yeah, still 20 minutes left of this one, Bill. I mean, Tom Van Hoyman, we saw earlier, he isn't immune to mistakes. I think cold tyres might have caught him out after the first round of pit stops. Now, the good news for Hoyman here is that he has a 14-second lead over Bream, so if he runs into a similar error, as long as he keeps off a wall, he should be able to maintain a lead this time. But things could definitely shake up for that battle for second. And let's not also forget that no matter what happens the rest of this race, nothing could happen. I doubt it, because we've seen stuff happening all race long. But the championship is going to get shaken up quite a lot after this race. Granted, Burns is probably going to have a good points lead, but with everyone 10th on back, their positions being locked down by when they crashed out of a race, that could definitely turn things up in the AM Championship and also the Top Pro Series.
Oh, yeah. We are looking at our leader. 15 seconds up on Vincent Bream, but inches away from a wall that will end his day. If you're watching at home and you got a kid that needs to get to school and you're looking for somebody to drive the carpool, I'm recommending the 177 of John Morgan. He'll get you there. He'll get you there. This is out there. He is leader of all the cars, 1 lap down, having another clean race.
Here we go. Oh, as Hoyman resets the fastest lap of the race. We've got 3 cars running the lap down right now. Morgan, Jungbluth and Simon, all 3 of them quite spaced out. Barrera and Sauer both 2 laps down, and then Breutelaar 5 laps down.
Did you just say that Van Hoyman just ran the fastest lap of the race? Wouldn't you think he would want to just kind of tone it down a little bit? But I guess not. Here we're looking at some lap traffic being negotiated. That's Vincent Bream going around John Morgan. Jungbluth just put it in the wall, racing in 5th position. Second car 1 lap down, and he's done right before pit lane. And this is unfixable.
Oh, yeah, we'll get a replay on that. He's coming into the pits. The car's not crabbing that bad. It's missing the nose. So I think it'll be down to the luck of what iRacing tells him whether his car can go again or not. That was definitely a hard hit.
That's pretty good for how hard as he hit.
Yeah, there's good news and there's bad news here. Good news is this is pretty much in the pit window. He can make it to the end from here. The bad news, as you can see, he's no longer in the car. And he is out of a race. So then there were 8.
And David Boutelar just smile gets a little bit wider. Hidden from second, Vincent Brame. Burns stays out.
Don't win there. Our 2 clean cars all race have green on them. They say green's a bad luck colour in motor racing. Not today.
Careful as they come out. Those cars are a lap apart, but they race for 4th and 3rd. And look at Morgan. Ah! Go around me.
So the 3rd place car is now right ahead of a 4th place car. Problem is, there's a whole lap between them.
Lap between them. All right. Boutelar coming in from 9th position. So with the problems that happened to Young Bluth, he's going to get another. He's going to be able to get another spot.
Oh, and Barrera just had the spin, keeps off a wall. This is one driver we really haven't mentioned a whole lot today. He hasn't lost any positions yet, but he just got the car back going again. But Barrera started 19th and he's up to 6th. Lance Simon started dead last on the grid and he's up to 5th.
Barrera 2 laps down. There's the replay. He got away with it. We come back live. We were talking to drivers before the race. They thought it would be a bit of an attrition fest. I did not think they had this in mind. Maybe they did.
Well, technically, only about 15 of them crossed the start line. And Barrera spun again. Yeah. Keeps off the wall again.
He's really good at spinning the car.
I think you might want to come in for a new set of tires.
This is a real town. We're going to look at this from the guy who gets on the scene here. This is going to be your driver in second once the pit stop sorts out. You can see the car up in front in the distance. Now you can see it. Where are you going to go? Oh, I'll go here. And Vincent's still racing in 3rd. He should be able to get that spot once Burns comes in for his stop. We're waiting on Burns and Van Hoyman to make their pit stops. Simon finishes up his 2nd stop, rolls out in 5th. He started in 20th position. We've been talking about what John Morgan has done. Lance Simon doing that too. 2 laps down. And I've been looking at him. I assumed that he was off the pace, but I think it just might be just... It's pointless for him to race faster. He's just trying to get to the end.
I know going from 20th to 15th is a big deal here, Bill, but let's consider the fact also that every car that started between 7th position and 13th position is out of this race.
Oh, you always have to pour you're such a wet blanket, man. Let the guy enjoy his top 5. All right, it's got to be pit stop time. The Dutch driver coming around.
He's going one more lap. He crosses a line here. Lap 33 on the boards.
Burns is going to go around as well. Final two drivers. Barrera still needs to come in.
Sorry, I picked him up from the wrong camera angle here. Yeah, here comes Tom Van Hooyman. He's approaching pit entry now.
And... No.
I mean, why not? As long as he has the fuel to keep going, why not keep going? I mean, things are definitely going his way right now. Doesn't have a whole lot of lap traffic to worry about.
Here's what's kind of discouraging for Van Hooyman. He had the car to beat 20 drivers, so yeah, it's really not fair that three-fourths of the field is out. David Burns making his stop.
See, this was the point I was trying to make a little while ago, Bill. Only 3/4 of the field is out of a race if you assume that 20 cars started it. But, I mean, 5 cars didn't even make it to the start line, really. So we've only lost about 5 cars.
Vincent Bream just spun the car. Let's go to Vincent. He is right now trying to get the car going. He's got it nicely between the 2 white lines there as he tries to get it going again, and he does.
This is why I'm glad I drive a delivery van for a living. You learn how to do 3-point turns properly. Some of these drivers have been struggling today.
This will be fun when after the spin. Let's see if we can go up top. It'll be tree lined. You'll get it interesting as he tries to negotiate here. You see him going back and forth. Here comes our spin. I think we might get blocked by the tree, so this is where the commentator probably shouldn't be calling for a shot. But let's see. This is fun. You can see him here. Oh, this is good. We're going to get a good spot. Stay with us as he works his way back and forth, trying to get the car to go. There we go. So what did that mean? Did that cost him anything? No, he's still the last car on the lead lap. Oh, nope, he's a lap down now. Nope, he's still on the lead lap, I guess. Yep, still on the lead lap.
See, Morgan is only 7 seconds down the road from him, which is confusing. I had a feeling he lapped Morgan earlier. Oh, okay, so lapping 7 seconds down the road, maybe?
7, yeah. All right, is it pit stop time for our leader? Where is he on the track? Just going through 12 and 13 now. It's got to be this time around. And let's bring it in. And gonna stay out again. Ludwig Sauer coming in.
This is costing him 6th position back to Barrera. Tell you, talking about Barrera there, I mean, I know we just saw him run into a couple of issues. I gotta confess, at the end of practice, I wasn't sure they'd even let him start the race, because he ran at 1:35 in practice. That's 15 seconds off a pace, kept getting into spins. Finally, in qualifying, he got a lap together and ran at 1:27. It only got him 19th on the grid, but could pull out a top 5 finish.
One mistake away from a top 5, absolutely. That was Tom Van Hooyman, who just went around Barrera without issue. All right, with just over 10 minutes to go, I will guarantee you that Tom Van Hooyman is coming in this time. Burns is back by 49 seconds. So Tom can go in there, get the windshield clean, take his helmet off, wipe that off, have a bite to eat, still get out.
Well, we're going to have to wait another 80 seconds at least to find out.
He didn't go in, did he? All right.
Voitalar, by the way, has worked his way up into 8th place now. The only car left running. There is still time that if a car in front of him does crash out of a race, he could still pick off a couple more positions. But when we get down to about 4 or 5 laps to go, that's where he's just turning laps at that point. 4 or 5 minutes to go, rather.
Sauer and Barrera 3 laps down, Voitalar 6 laps down. So yeah, he'll need all that time to make up those 3 laps. Well, this one maybe wasn't the most competitive, but it was kind of interesting. It was different. It was unique, and sometimes that alone is worth watching. And we're not out of the woods yet. Van Hooyman is still... Just saw his car swiggle. He's got the lapped car of John Morgan up in front of him. Gonna look to put him 2 laps down. Good news, John. Van Hooyman has to pit here, so... I'm telling you he has to pit.
I know there's another pit stop, but that just tells you the pace of him, doesn't it? That the leader's about to put 2 laps on the 4th place car. Now, granted, a lap around here isn't that long around.
So Morgan goes 2 laps down. He'll get 1 of those back. Is this Vincent Bream again with a mistake? Can we see this one? I believe this is another mistake. Is it recent? I believe it's pretty recent. We found it, yeah. I'm going to look for those. And I think this time he made contact.
Well, either way, he's lost a lot of time. He's 20 seconds now down the road from David Burns. He might risk going the lap down.
Yep, yeah, he backed it in. Now he gets it going again.
I don't know what happened to Oliver Barrera, but he's just came into the pits again. He's back out on track now, but I thought he... Oh, and he just spun. Yeah, I thought he pitted not too long ago, so this has given Ludwig Sauer 6th place back.
Oliver Barrera getting his ration of excitement today. So Lance Simon, 20th to 5th. Simon behind John Morgan now. 2 drivers have just been getting it home. 6.5 minutes of racing to go.
Oh, Barrera just put it in the wall. He just grazed it. He gets away with it. And
he's still racing.
I think he's going to lock up 7th position
I
here.
think so.
As long as he keeps going a couple more laps, Voitalar won't be able to catch him, but Suarez quite far up the road.
All right, Van Hooyman working the back straight now, going into 7 through the Bowden section. Beautiful Bowden here at Belle Isle.
And he has pit now. We mentioned that, didn't we, Bill?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I've been waiting for him to... Did he sneak? I've been waiting and waiting.
Yeah, he did it last lap around. We were watching Barrera.
See, it's like waiting for Santa and you fall asleep.
Barrera still having a couple of issues out there. Like I say...
Oh, I think he might have... I think he centered it. Let's go to Barrera right now. Go live to Barrera. No, go live right there to him now, director. This is fun. Barrera has put the car on the curbs.
Yeah, he's still stuck there. We're seeing how it got there initially. The problem for Barrera is when Hooyman just pit, that put Voitalar down to only being 5 laps down, And if Barrera retired from the race right now, I think he's just
Hey!
making it worse for... Oh, there he goes. He gets back on track.
He got it off. Well done.
Cars are going to be heated up, though. He might want to print it in again, I don't know.
It took him a while to get it off, but as we watch on replay, he finally got it positioned just right. 4.5 minutes of racing. We're going to stay with this one. Our director is determined. Let's stay with it. It won't be much longer. There we go. There's really nothing else to look at. That's how you do it. Got those tires nice and warmed up. I think that just typifies how this race has been like there. That's a good... When we're looking for a highlight director, let's use that one. We're thinking 3 to go for our leader. 30 seconds up on David Burns. A minute up on Vincent Bream.
I'd say there's no reason for him to be pushing it, but the way he's been treating this race, I highly anticipate him to take the fastest lap of a race this lap.
Absolutely. Well, I've talked to drivers who are really good, and they say that when they slow down, they lose their rhythm and they get in more danger. So maybe he's just out there doing what he does. Right on board with the Dutch driver. Oh, man. Vincent Bream has put it in the wall. Hard. This is going to be hard to finish out the last 3 minutes of this one.
Yeah, and he's not one of those drivers that's too safe. John Morgan...
I think he's on the same lap as Morgan, to be honest. Morgan's a lap
No,
ahead.
he is a lap ahead. He's a lap and a few seconds. So there's always a possibility that iRacing could tell him you have to pit. That's iRacing's version of saying your car is too dangerous to continue, and in that case Bream might have to pit, but if he doesn't, he should just keep it out there because he's got a whole lap over Morgan.
He's got pretty good pace. Vincent Bream is trying his best not to finish this race. Our leader now working into the Fowden section. Expecting to get the white flag this time by.
No, he's in the final sector here. It'll be close.
Lap times of about 1:20. He needs to get there in the next 10 seconds. I think we'll get the white flag this time. We'll see.
If he didn't have enough fuel to do it, he could wait for about half a minute, still lead the race.
I can report that Bream slows down and lets some cars go by, including the leader. John Morgan is back on the lead lap. Now here comes our leader. That is Van Hoyman right behind Morgan.
Yeah, we have cars 1 lap down, 2 laps down, 3 laps down, 4 laps down, and 5 laps down. It's looking like a sports car race on the timing and scoring here.
This is really not news, but Barrera has spun the car again. No needs to go there.
He's lost his rear wing, though.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. Did we get the white flag? Are we home free here? Bless us.
Bill, Barrera putting it into the wall. He's ripped off a rear wing. He has no rear downforce. He might lose 7th to David Boitelar by the end.
Barrera's in the pits now. So, Huldorf's maybe, I don't know if he has enough time to get there. I think he might get the position. This is what we've come to. All right, Van Hoyman working down into 12 and 13. Coming on to Sunset Drive. What's going on? Well, it's Tom Van Hoyman. Picks up the win, round number 4 here in the Absolute Beginner Formula Eagle Series. Morgan's race is going to be done as he comes across one lap behind Burns and Brame. Burns is going to get second. And then the question is, and I must have it answered, is Butelaar in position to pick up this position on Barrera as we look at Burns?
I don't think so, Bill, because they're both going to finish the race 5 laps down, and Barrera got to the pits before Butelaar will get to the line. I think this will go to Barrera.
But is this pit box on the other side of the start-finish line? We'll find out. We're going to stay with David Butelaar. This has been the highlight of the race. Came in to talk with us. He goes past pit entrance. Currently scored in 8th. And he's going to get credit for 7th. Yes. All Barrera needed to do was roll the car another 7 or 8 pit boxes, and he would have had that spot. Hey, David Butelaar gets 7th. Oh, bless the racing gods. The racing is over here at Belle Isle. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to run down the finishing order of the 2 cars that were on the lead lap. Talk to some of the drivers if they care to, and then put a lock on this gate for quite a while. Back in a while. Go, Sam. Sponsored by the Absolute Beginner League. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage, along with the iRacing Esports Network of the, well, it is Formula Eagle. Formula Eagle. Here we go. Round number 4 from Belle Isle. You know what? Before I get into the standing, let me quickly tell you about iRacing and the iRacing Esports Network. Private leagues like this one and the best of the best in their championship races are all spotlighted here on the IESN. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. GSRC is proud to be an IESN stable of broadcasters. All right, let's go to the finishing order here. 2 cars on the lead lap. It was Tom Van Hoyman. It really is a shame that his wonderful race was marred by the attrition that went on behind him. He would have beaten all comers today. He had a well-deserved win. David Burns gets second, another well-deserved second position for him. He had the lead for a little while until he made a mistake. Burns' partner, Vincent Bream, gets third. The fans love John Morgan. He comes home fourth. I think he had another incident-free race. We'll check that out later. Lance Simon goes from 20th to 5th. Let me round out the back of the order here. Ludic Sauer is in 6th. David Butlar came in, had a little conversation with us, had some lunch, got the car back out there, and finds himself inside the top 10 with 7th. Oliver Barrera, boy, he had a lot of spins, but he comes home inside the top 10 in 8th. Fabian Youngbluth, Juice Junk, Josh Brain, David Solo, Alejandro Liero, Mikael Hofladason, Thomas Kick the Strudelmeister, the fan belt, Johan Vanderbilt, Marcus Pascal, Dennis Garrison, Frederick Neptune, and the last car, 20th, was Wojciech Podolchek. You don't know how lucky you were, Wojciech, to have trouble early. All right, let's see if anybody's going to be able to come in and talk to us. Well, sure enough, we're going to get to talk to the race winner. Let's talk to Tom Van Hoyman. Tom, well, you won it. It wasn't without incident. You did make a mistake and surrendered the lead for a little while, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I came out of the pit, and of course the tires were cooled down because you're standing still in the pit. So I came out of the pit and I took the curb a little bit, and that made the car unstable and sent me into a spin. And after that, I was like 3 seconds behind David, and he some couple of corners later he spun again. He spun also. So I was like, oh, all right.
It was literally like 10 seconds later that he gave it right back to you. Let's talk about those tires real quick. So you didn't change tires, but they just cool off from being in the pit box.
Yeah, I didn't change tires. I could have done at my last pit stop, to be fair, because of the lead I got. But in the beginning, I didn't choose to go for the tires because David was until that time only 3-4 seconds behind me. So if I would do the tires, I would have lost a lot of time. I would have lost a lot of time into the pit stop, and maybe you never know what happened. Maybe I got behind some people who are slow. I can't overtake, or you never know. So I was like, all right, just keep the lead. Don't take the tires. Only take fuel and go to the end.
What Sam and I noticed when we were calling the race was that you were still putting up some of your fastest laps near the end of the race. Is it just a matter of you wanting to not lose the rhythm and just keep doing what you do?
Yeah, for me it was for me it was like a qualifying practice session, to be fair. I was just focusing on get the lap times in, because for me at this track, if I lose focus or don't be fast, then I'm going to make some mistakes. I need to stay in the rhythm I've got to be fast here. And before when this track came out, I really hated it. And with my other league, AOR,
right,
I couldn't race there because I was so badly slow. And I took some practice in the whole week for this track, and I'm absolutely loving it right now. It's such a fun track to drive. It's very bumpy, very risky, but if you can nail it on the limit, it's just a feeling. Yeah, it's just a nice feeling to nail it like that.
GSRC fans got to know you over in the Apex Online Racing with those guys, and then you come over here, you pick up the win. Congratulations. Always fun to watch your race, no matter what series it's in. Congratulations. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you very much, Joop.
Tom Van Hoyman gets the win today. All right, we're going to talk to David Third Degree Burns, who had a taste of the lead. I think he could have held his breath longer than he held the lead. David, well, you were there for a little while.
What was it, about 0.5 of a second before I spun it? I have no idea how I survived that race.
You did really well considering what went on behind you. You'll see what was going on. You can probably, from your timing and scoring, see how it was chaotic. Why was it so bad? Is this no room for mistakes? Is that what it is?
Combination of no room for mistakes, hard car. It's very hard to make this car stable without making it like a rock. And I just think the track heat was just causing everybody a lot of nightmare.
We have been watching you race in this series for a long time. I think this is the first time, this is your best chance at a championship, but with no drop races, man, what you really can't afford to make a mistake. One mistake and you like throw away your championship.
I'm not even thinking about it, mate, because I'm going to jinx myself. Yeah, I know. But at the same time, some of the faster guys haven't turned up, like Alex, or I don't know what happened to Dennis at the start, because he was back in qualifying. Did he get mixed up in that issue with Ludwig?
You know, that was right. We looked at that too. He went out, I believe, in that very first lap. He had that bad qualifying time. We noticed that as well, as he qualified down in 10th position, and then he got caught up in the Ludwig Sawyer incident. So that was one less driver you had to watch out for. All right, man. You got the win last time. Second now. Just keep putting in those podiums, and we'll see you at the championship, okay?
Oh, let's hope so, mate. Cheers for that, guy.
David Burns, second today, sitting at the top of your points. And we look down here, and I think that's going to do it for us. That's it. Okay. Boy, we made it to the end. Let me tell you all the people that made this possible. First of all, we want to thank everybody at the Absolute Beginner League for contracting with GSRC to do the broadcasting for their fine series. We've been with them a long time. We hope to be with them for a long time longer. Thanks to the company's equipment and software you see on the screen now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that gives every GSRC broadcast a unique flavor and feel, well, that's Eric Eckelman and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. All right, now this was something, but if you want to tune in and see some real racing, check us in 2 weeks. That's going to be for round 5 from Charlotte Oval. Now Sam was pessimistic about it. I think it's going to be a great race. Either way, you don't want to miss it. GSRC will be there with IESN. Hey, how about IESN? Next up for them, well, that's going to be our coverage of the opening round of the Weekend Warriors. That's SRFs. And it's on right now. Don't go yet. As soon as I finish these plugs, because these are important. Sliding across your screen right now are some of the upcoming broadcasts. Stay with me. You want to know about GSRC? Go to globalsimracingchannel.com. How about Instagram? You can do that at GSRC_Gram. Or Twitter, you know where to go, or Facebook. I'm going to hustle through because I want you to get over to that race. And finally, become a YouTube subscriber. You know how to do that well. We're done. On behalf of the entire crew, Sam, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, as we did indeed see Tom Van Hoyman pick up his first career win here in the Absolute Beginner Formula Eagles. That's it. We're going to have fun storming the castle. Race clean, race hard. Go check us out on the other channel. See you on the track.